Well, there goes our first 200 made back off of the Coyote truck. All right, so hopefully today, yesterday we sold that ladder rack for 200 bucks, so that knocks 200 off what we owe on the Coyote truck, the new race motor. I'm trying to get it for free, working towards it. Today's the day that we find out if our truck runs. So the key guy had some personal stuff come up, couldn't make it on Friday, couldn't make it on Monday. Today is Tuesday, and we're going to hopefully be able to get the key cut today. He said he's going to come by, should be this afternoon, and get the key cut. But today is also, we're going to find out if we can buy some parts trucks. Let me show you the two that we're semi-after down in Charleston, South Carolina today. And we should know by the end of the day if we have parts trucks, because we need to buy some wreck trucks so that we can pull parts off of this one, fix that, sell the one that we repaired, and then financially, hopefully, pay for the repaired one, pay for the Coyote one, and either break even or make profit, because then we still have the back of the truck if we use the front, and then we can go do another truck that's hitting the rear, and then that's all pure profit to pay towards the bill or to pay off the current bill that we have at TKM. Let me show you the two that we're chasing this morning. So the two we're chasing this morning is right here. It's going to be a 13 F-150 and a 14 F-150. Both of them are sitting in Charleston. This one right here is the, it's not the 5.0. It's, man, my mind just went blank. The EcoBoost. It is pre-bidded at $48.25. I haven't messed with it. The 5.0, I'm winning the pre-bid at $43.25. Just barely. I really want the 5.0 because then I have wiring harnesses, radiators, like I have everything, versus the other one, the motor is not compatible, but I have all the body panels. So you can see this 5.0 is really smoked, really good, lots of damage. So that's kind of what I want, because I have a whole and complete front end, and hopefully it would keep the price down. It only has, let's see here, I think 89,000 miles on it, and it is a four-wheel drive, so that helps the value. But it is cloth interior, 89,000 miles. But it is cloth interior, but it is clean. So these trucks bring a lot of money after the repair. So if we did snag one like this, we could potentially wash our parts truck and this one and clear profit all in one hit, and then have everything left over off the parts truck, you know, to do another one to make even more money. So let's keep our fingers crossed that maybe we snag one today. All right, so here's gonna be our EcoBoost. This is the one we really don't want, but if it went for the right price, we would buy it. So I don't think I'm gonna give that for it, because like I said, I don't have, you know, the proper wiring, radiator, transcooler, all that stuff. All I got is the body parts. Let's see what this EcoBoost brings though, and it had low mileage too. Says it's worth 25,000, 145,000 miles, closed at 53. So not terrible, but like I said, in my situation, that's not exactly what we want. So we're done on this block. We skipped the EcoBoost. We're really gonna chase this 5.0 right here, number 64 hard. I winning the auto bid, the pre-bid, but by barely anything. So if one more person hits it, I'm out, and I'm gonna have to manually bid this one. So this one should be up here in a few on item 64. All right, we're over here. Wow, that car looked nasty. All right, let's see what happens. So I'm holding the high bid somehow. Wow, nobody touched it. So that's kind of surprising. That's unique. Normally that does not happen. So normally when it goes to live bid, somebody hits it. Now it was on iBuyFast for 51, so I had a bid of 43 and some change. So you're getting close, like we talked about when we bought the actual first Coyote, is you're getting close to that that iBuyFast now, where you could have just clicked the iBuyFast and bought it instead of gambling it. They no-sold it last week. I think I closed it last week winning. They no-sold it. We'll see if they sell it this week. Hopefully 43 to 51. Hopefully they don't try me on trying to get more money out of me. If they do, I think I'm just gonna hold firm to my bid again and just try my luck, gamble this one, and see if I can get it. I bought another flood car actually down there in Charleston, same exact branch. I already bought a flood car this morning that we need for another vehicle for parts, so I love to get two so we can fill up or put two on a trailer. Coming out of there saves me a little bit of money on the tows the more cars I buy, obviously. So let's wait, see if they send us an offer, and see if we get us a Coyote truck to fix and recoup our money and get this spare race motor for free. All right, and just like that, the computer has already sent me a offer. So we're gonna go right here to our dashboard. Click your dashboard up top. It popped up on my phone, the offer, but I haven't done it on here. Scroll down to manage. Let's see here. Waiting seller response. So this one's in Wilmington. This is one I bought with transmission damage. I am trying to get this one. Oh, it doesn't show the price. Okay. So buy it now price on the truck last week was 51, and they just sent another offer back at 51. So that honestly pisses me off. It's an automatic buy now offer. So I am going to decline that offer because I already gave you enough. My live auction bid was $43.25. You know, so I don't do this. See here, this offer is only available. Decline offer of $5,100. You elected to decline to buy it now. Offer 51. Waiting for seller's response. Okay, so yeah, I don't do this crap playing with these insurance companies. This is Geico. It sat on iBuyFast last week for $5,100 the whole entire week, and nobody wanted it. So what makes you have the guts to send me an offer $5,100? So here's a 09 Volkswagen Jetta I'm trying to buy with transmission damage. My highest bid was $550. It's a clear Florida title, and of course clear titles are danger. But this one is fortunately marked transmission damage. So I could take this to a transmission shop and get a transmission put in it. But this is the reason why we don't buy clear titles, because they normally have motor and transmission damage, even though this one states it. A lot of times they're hidden. If they're a clean title, a lot of times they have tremendous mechanical issues, and we don't want a clean title. So we're waiting for a response on that one. That's not going to be in this video, though. All we're chasing in this video is this Coyote. So as soon as the insurance company responds back on the offer on this Coyote, we'll see if we got it or if they're going to be idiots and hold out for another week. All right, so as you can see, Car Keys Express is here to cut the key on our Coyote and see if it'll crank. Let's go out here and see what happens. All right, so he's got like another minute on programming on the key. Ed, you still say it's going to run?
It is going to run.
Ed thinks it's going to run. It's going to, see, Ed's not doing the fine print, though. It's going to run and knock its tail off, so. All right, keys programmed, so he's going to fire it off. I'm going to back up because it's probably blowed up. See if this thing does anything. Dead.
She wants to.
Might be bad terminals. Ed, hit them. Might need to tighten the terminals down. Wiggle this, Ed. Oh. Try that. Yeah, he probably needs the terminals clean. Or do you want to just grab the jump box? So these terminals are a little dirty. Put this thing on jump box. That way we just bypass the battery altogether. Hopefully.
All right, try it.
I bet she's locked up.
She's locked the hell up.
All right. Oh yeah, no, it ain't turning over.
It's supposed to be turned?
Yeah. Oh yeah. You shouldn't have had to put that much force on it.
I just tightened the bolt up.
Yeah, no. Okay, so we are pretty confident, y'all, that the motor is locked up. Eddie did find, as the guy was programming the key, that there is no belt on the hub, the harmonic bouncer, not the hub, brains fried, and it's off the alternator and everything, so probably locked up and popped the belt. But hey, at least we needed a key. The big thing is the reason why we needed a key was so we could get it off the trailer, turn the wheel like we talked about in the first video, and you know, be able to move it around. So that key only cost $49 to get it cut. We went ahead and had him cut another one for another car that was a little wore out while he was here. So it's not like it's a big loss. It sucks that people can't just leave the keys in the vehicle, like I said, and just put it as mechanical damage, because anybody knows what they're doing knows that if you buy a vehicle with no key, that you need to assume that it has mechanical damage. So we just got a basic key cut. So Ed put the wrench on there and it just doesn't turn over. I mean, a lot of pressure. He's tightening the bolt actually, you know, so it shouldn't take that much force to do it. That, or it could be hydro locked. You know, somebody might comment they could be hydro locked or whatever. The point of the matter here is that it's not going to crank up, it's not going to drive off the trailer, so it's got to be pushed and pulled around. That does not affect us in any way, shape, or form on it being a spare race motor, because TKM would be going through it anyway and sleeving it, you know, and doing all that. So as long as the block doesn't have a hole in it, as long as the crank's good, as long as the heads are good, then, you know, we're okay. And even if the heads are not, they can be repaired with billet main caps and all that stuff, or we'll upgrade whatever. So let's see if we got this other truck. Let's go check our account and we'll see if we bought a parts truck this morning. All right, so we did get our truck. So 13 F-150 Charleston. We got it for $51.28 out the door. There's the breakdown of how bad they killed me on fees. So my bid amount started at $43.25 and I end up $51 out the door. So it's pretty ridiculous on how they get you with fees, but we at least do have a Coyote truck now. So hopefully we get this thing and it basically looks like a clobbered mess, but hopefully when we peel all of the skin off of it and get it back, hopefully it's not that bad. One of the big things going into this that I'm thinking about is the wiring harness. So I'll have the wiring harness off the other truck, but it's gonna save me time if that wiring harness did not get pinched. A couple wires got cut, that's cool. We can patch them, but hopefully, you know, like we didn't take a hit to, you know, 20 freaking wires in a bundle or something like that, where it would be better just to change out the harness. It's a pretty hard hit. It's kind of shaved the top back above the rails right there. I feel pretty good about no frame damage at all. It's just going to be the structure damage to the front, which we will cut off the blue truck and we'll cut the white truck off, and we'll weld the main core support of the white truck onto the blue truck. We'll get it all painted out, rattle canned out, whatever, and you know, then assemble our front end. And we might go over that truck when we get it in. I'm not sure if I want to do a video on it or not. Try not to just put out crap on the channel, but this is the process of what you have to do if you want to get yourself a free motor, free engine, LS or Coyote, whatever. This is how you do it.